Assalamu alaikum, welcome to a new video in the Naskh script. In today's lesson we are going to talk about the Ain, Ghain, Fa, Qaf and Waw. We will start with the letter Ain, and for this letter we have some very important notes to begin with. The first one is the way we do the letter Ain. Now it's 2 points wide and we draw it like this shape, the top part of it. So this shape is a composition between writing and drawing at the same time. Some people don't know that. Now first we put the pen this side and we move to this side. Then we go back and we draw it, or we just draw it then color it. This is an option too. So we start from here, we go up half the thickness and we go down just like this, then we color this part. This way we get a neat start for the letter. Now then we add 1 point here, and this way we have this line that shows how to rotate around this 1 point and go up here. Now here we extrude it half a point, and from the back side we also extrude it when it's connected, but here we add 1 point so that when we go back we go below this line, and just like the hat it is 5 points high, and we do the same body as the hat, and it extrudes like 2 points here. This way we write the singular Ain, and the Ain obviously goes below the line. So we start the first move, which is basically moving from left to right, not the opposite. We go from left to right, just like this. Then we go down and we close this part. Then with the 1 point in, we go down, and here we could come back from the other direction, like we don't have to go up and down. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. Finally we do the body as we did for the hat. This is the Ain by itself. When it connects we have two cases. The first case is when it comes with alifs or any letter that goes up. For this we are going to use an Ain called Finjani. Finjan is the small cup we drink coffee out of. I think you could Google this word and you have cups that look like this. It's taken from the shape of it. So for this one we start the same way, half the thickness, we draw it, then we add the same amount here. The only difference is that it will close on itself. It would look like a circle, just like this. The second move is the same one. The third move comes really thin, it's half the thickness. It merges here, then it goes back up. So left to right, then down, very thick. This is half the thickness, by the way, the top part. Finally we go back, but with half the thickness, then it extrudes like this. Notice that it looks like a circle, just like this. And here you have a very narrow gap for the upward movement for the letter following the Ain. And we go up. The difference between this part and this part is very, very small. Now this could be an alif, could be a dal, could be a lam or a kaf. Depends on the upward letter. So this comes with alif, dal, lam, kaf, and lam alif of course, and ha. All these letters come with this Ain. The second Ain, the normal one, has the same dimensions, 2 points wide. So this will give us the first move. We add 1 point here, and it is 1 point above the line. So when you go back, it needs to be 1 point above the line, and it extrudes for half a point. Again, 1 point above the line, and another point for the inside shape. So we will put the scale up here. We start here, then we come back, we extrude half a point, then we come back this height, and it connects. It connects, for example, with a bar. Let's say. This way we write the ain at the beginning. The notes are to see the extruded part we added at the start of the ain. Now, this is the general idea, how to connect it, but there are special cases as we used to. For example, if it came with a hat, it comes on top of the hat. So we raise it all the way up to here. We start the first part, the second part. The third part would be just like as if it was disconnected. So we go down like this. Then we connect it to this hat. So for example, ajib. This is how we write it. The ayn comes on top of the jim, or the ha or the ha. The same thing goes for the ra. We have ayn. This ra, we go down and up. So here it's very thin. You start with this shape, you go down, and you go down, but you sort of slide it downward like this, so that when you continue the ra, it has a very thin connection in the middle. And we have the other ra, this ra. Or you could use the Qshida extension. This also works for the very long connection. So the first move, by the way, you need to practice a lot. So you go up, then you rotate the pen, so that will give you this curvature. Or you go up, you stop, and you just draw this part. So it's up to you. The main thing is that to get this shape at the end of the day. When we connect it to a meme also, we like meme, yeah, we connect it with the same as this one, like the one with the hat. So here you go down, and now you could connect it to this meme, for example. Or you would connect it to a ya, or the other ya, the one that goes back. This one. For all of these, you use this downward move for the ayn. When the ayn comes in the middle, we have the same scale, 2 points, but the moves are different. So the first move is that whatever you're coming here from, you start going up from this point and you stop here. So the move here is curved the other way around, this way. So you're coming down, then you curve up this way. Then you go back and you curve upwards, but you don't overdo it, you just do it for the amount of 2 points, because you need the ayn to be closed just like this. You don't want it to be open. So we go down, then up, we stop, we curve up, then we come back. It's very easy and simple. Notice that you have two sides, both sides are below here and here, and it's really curvy. On the left you have a nice rectangular shape that stops at this shape here. When you come back as if it was a bar, or like just continuing the word. What you need to keep an eye on are these curves here, here, and here. The height of it is 1 point, the ayn itself. So again, down, up, stop, curve up, then come back. This height would be 1, the width would be 2, and down here you've got half, Here also you've got half and half. This is where you get a neat ain. So when you connect ain, 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 3 ains together, you start with this one. You choose this normal connection here. You touch down, you go up, you add the curvature, you go down, then again you go up, you go down, and here when you finish it at the end, you extrude it half a point, just like this. Below this connection you add the 5 points, and from the end part here you have to go in 2 points, just like this, and from this part also you go out 3 points. So you do these scales, and there you go. It has to end here, so you will need this shape to be here. Here we can see 3 ains. Now, as you can see, the shapes, this sort of zigzag move here, and the extruded part here, these all are shapes that you need to keep an eye on. The ghain point dot comes here, if it was a ghain. And this is how you write a ghain at the beginning, middle and end of a word. At the end of the word you could also use this shape, the normal one. So you'll have to go up, then this will connect here, the body, and you would just finish the remaining shapes, but it connects from this part, from this side of the ain. Now when you start the writing with a ba, this is a special case. For example, the word ba'd. The ba, you use the long one for with the ain, in case if you forgot about it. For example, ba'd. So as you can see here, we used the high ba, the one that we used with the scene. And this is the note that we wanted to mention with regards to the middle ain. Now after the ain, we are going to talk about the Fa, Qaf and Waw. 3 letters with the same head. So the head of these 3 letters is 1 point wide and 2 points high. So the moves here are 1 and 2. You start 1 here, you go up, then 2 comes here. You take this head and you connect it to whatever you want. Now the inside of this part is almost the thickness of the pen, which is this thick. So you could start by doing this, the thickness of the pen, then take this side and go up, then down. Be easier for you to do. Depending on the letter, you either connect it with a waw, with a ra to give you waw, or with a ba to give you a fa, or with a qaf, as we're going to see. So, waw, this is basically the ra shape. Fa, we add a ba to it. Well, when you scale, you know that this is 1 point, so these you should put 4 here to add a fa, and the dot for the fa will come over here. And qaf. Qaf goes below the line, so we are going to lower this a bit, and we know that this is 3 because it's based on a noon, and we stop 1 point below the end here. And here we have wa, fa, qaf. And here are the dots for the qaf. Now fa and qaf both connect at the beginning, so when they come at the start of a word, we connect them this way. You add the fa head, the head that we just learned, and here you don't add the full thickness. The first option is to add half the thickness, just like this, something very delicate. And you could add a whatever the for example, qiyam. Also, a special case for قال, for example, قال تعالى أو قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, we are going to find this shape. The same head, a very thin qaf that goes up to here, connects to two dots with a nice mad on top, and you get a lam here. So this is a special case for the word qala. You do a qaf with half thickness connection that goes like this. Then you connect two dots to it and you add this mad to show that it's a mad. But yeah, focus on this part, on this one. Now when the qaf comes with a raised letter, for example alif, lam alif, we could use the full thick of the base. So this is the fa or qaf. We continue with the full thick and watch the white part inside. It's very narrow, it's really narrow. So fala, for example, or fa alif or qaf alif. We're talking about the negative area. You've got the black color, the writing itself, and inside you've got the white, which is the gap. The gap is very, very delicate and small. So we could use that. The same thing, for example, with the word fihi. Fa, yeah, but the thick one, and we go down then up for the ha. Either of these work. You just keep an eye on the fa and qaf head. When both fa and qaf come in the middle, they look like this. We have 4 moves here. We have 1, 2, 3, then 4. Notice how this shape looks to the right. It's not straight, it looks to the right. So, just like the normal fa, it is 1 point wide. It's connected from here, so we have a ba, for example. You go up, then you go right, then you go back, then you go around. It has to look sharp. So here, 1, 2, 3. You can see how the shape is coned. It's not circular, unlike the Diwani and the Ruqa. Instead of 3 moves, we have 4 moves. The 1, 2, 3, and 4. These 4 moves give you the cone shape. Now the dimensions are 1 by 1 because it's in the middle, so you don't have to raise it a lot. Let's write faqih. So you have a fa, then you continue it and connect it to a qaf, then you have a ya, and finally a ha. Again, important is how this looks to the right. At the end, the fa looks like this. Whatever, let's say that there's khuf, a kha, then we connect it to a fa. It's very simple and easy. You just put the ba shape next to it. Meanwhile, the qaf, it takes the other shape, the normal shape. So haqq, it takes this shape. You go up and you rotate and you come back. You do exactly the same shape as the normal one. We can see the difference between the 2 shapes. This one uses the middle shape, this one uses the normal shape. And this is something we talked about in the Diwani and in all scripts. It's the same rule. Similarly, we can look at the waw. For example, jaw. You stop here and you add your right shape. Here we have Qaf, Haq and Jaw. In the middle also, the Fa could take an elongation that is similar to the Ba. So Shafiq, this is Sheen. We connect a Fa to it, and here the Fa will take 4 points before it changes into a Ya, and finally connects to a Qaf. Now here we have a Sheen, Fa, Ya. For the Qaf we could use the extension, the mursala. Just like all the letters that are based on a noon, you go down 2/3, then you go up the last third and you finish it like this. So here we have Shafiq. Here we explained that you could extend the Fa in the middle of a word and the Qaf at the end. Now you can't do that for a Fa at the end, and the Qaf does not extend in the middle. You don't mix them around. Each one of them has its own rules. Also, when they connect to a Ha, now if they came in the middle, the Fa takes the same shape and connects this way, the way we talked about in the Ha lesson. Meanwhile, the Qaf connects the other shape, this one, the normal one, and connects to the Haq. Let's say that you have a Ba here and whatever. So here it could be a Ba, or here could be a Ain, if you had a word like this. So this way you could, this is a Fa and this is a Qaf, they don't mix, each one of them look like this. Now for this lesson we saw these letters, and to recap we talked about the Ain, Ghain, Fa, Qaf, Waw. For the letter Ain we saw how it looks like by itself, and we talked about the general rule when we have two of, like, whether it connects to a letter that goes up or a normal letter. You should distinguish these two now to know which one to use. Also it can go up on top of a Jim, and this is how it looks like with different shapes of Ra's, and how it looks like with Mim, Ya and Ain. In the middle it changes shape and it comes very closed like this, coloured. It does not come open, unlike Thuluth and other scripts. And at the end it has this shape as we talked about, two choices. Reminder of this where we use the high Ba with the Ain, and how the zigzag move helps us to write the Ain. Then we moved on to the Waw, and we talked about the similar head shape for Waw, Fa and Qaf. Waw body is based on a Ra, Fa body is based on a Ba, Qaf body is based on a Noon, and it's the same rule in all calligraphy, in all Arabic calligraphy or in all scripts. Then we talked about how they look like. This could be a Fa, but this is mostly used with Qala. Qala Ta'ala, for example, you use this special case. Then we saw this nice shape of it when it comes really thick, but generally at the beginning of normal words you would use the thin shape because it's prettier. Now don't forget, when you connect a Fa to a Ha, go back to the Ha lesson, you will find that it was connected normally like this one. Goes down. So check that one to know how to connect it with a Ha. In the middle they both look the same, but we need to keep an eye that it goes to the right instead of being straight. Here we saw how they connect with the Ha, Haf, Khuf, Haq and Jaw. And here we mentioned the elongation we add to the Fa and the Qaf if we want. For the Qaf it comes at the end, for the Fa it comes in the middle. Finally we talked about the possibility to connect with the Ha this way. Remember that you could also write a normal Fa and connect the normal Ha shape. For a homework you could use the same words we used here. Let's write Hafif or Khafif. So for this one, for Khafif or Hafif, we could use the Fa and see how it looks like and changes shape. So we start with the Ha. Connects to a Fa, so we have to go out. As you can see, we go up, then we go right, then we go down, then we go back. And here you can see that it is inclined to the right. Here we have a Ya. We could use the normal one, this one. Again, we have a Fa. Up, right, down, and close it with the bat shape. Just like this. Then you add the dots. Let's just zoom out a bit to see it better. Khafif. Here you have the Kha, the Fa, the Ya, and the Fa. Let's write Haq again. Ha, goes down, extrudes for 1 point so that you have a good space for the Qaf. This has to go 1 point down for the neck, then another point for the body of the Noon, which is the Qaf. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. We could add the Qafs dots here. Make sure to like and subscribe and keep up the good work. And if you have any question, please comment and feel free to ask about anything. This has been Amar Alaudi, and see you in the next one. Goodbye.